Good morning, boys and girls. We're going to start the morning today with a story. We've been talking about how Jesus chose his special friends, his disciples. And remember our story about how Peter was a fisherman and they couldn't catch any fish. And then Jesus came along and told them to put their nets back in. And when they did, the nets were so full of fish that they couldn't even pull them in. Their friends had to come and help them. Well, this is a Bible story this morning that tells you a little bit more about Peter and how he served Jesus. So I'm going to hold up our big book here so you can see it good. Every afternoon at 3 o'clock, Peter and John went to the temple to pray. They always saw a man who couldn't walk sitting by the gate begging money. Peter and John told the lame man they had no money for him, but would give him something much better. What do you think they gave him? They didn't have food. They didn't have money. Peter said, "By Jesus' power, stand up and walk." Peter took the man's hand and lifted him up. Right away, the man's legs became strong. The man jumped up and scurried all around the temple court, walking and jumping and praising God. It was the happiest day of his life. But some people at the temple were not happy about it. Let's see what else Peter did. The temple leaders were jealous. All the people in the temple were amazed to see the beggar walking and jumping. Everyone listened as Peter told them about Jesus. The temple guards arrested Peter and John and kept them in jail for a night. The temple leaders warned Peter and John to stop talking about Jesus, but they didn't stop. They served Jesus by telling more people about him. Peter traveled to other towns to tell about Jesus. In one town, he heard about a woman named Tabitha who made clothes for poor people. When Tabitha died, her friends begged Peter to help. Peter knelt and prayed beside Tabitha's bed, then commanded her to stand up. And by Jesus' power, Tabitha opened her eyes and came alive. Many people heard what happened and started believing in Jesus. Wicked King Herod put Peter in jail for serving Jesus. Peter slept in chains between two soldiers, while more soldiers guarded the door. Suddenly, a bright light filled Peter's cell. An angel appeared and awakened Peter. The chains fell off his hands. Clankety clank. The angel led Peter past the guards and out of the jail. What an exciting escape. Peter went to Mary's house to tell his friends that he was free. Peter knocked on Mary's door. A servant girl named Rhoda was so happy to hear Peter's voice that she forgot to open the door. Instead, she ran to tell everyone that Peter was there. They had opened the door. They opened the door, and Peter hushed the amazing people. He told them that God sent an angel to free him. Peter was able to serve Jesus again for many more days. And we'll learn more about the disciples and the special friends that Jesus chose to help him. But let's go ahead and we'll pray this morning, and then we'll start learning some of the things we're going to talk about today. Dear Jesus, thank you for this day. Thank you for all the things that you do for us. And I pray that you'll be with each of the boys and girls today. Keep them safe and healthy. Help them to just have a good day at their homes today. Thank you for everything you do. Amen. Well, we've been talking about animals that like the snow. Animals that like the snow. We learned about polar bears. Remember that big word that we learned? Camouflage. That the polar bears are white so they can hide in the snow. And we even painted white on top of polar bears to help them hide. And then you learned about penguins on Friday. Mrs. Marvel wasn't here, and it wasn't because I was sick. I'm okay, I wasn't sick. But remember I told you that my mommy is 86 years old. She just had her birthday, and she lives at my house with me. And she had to go to the hospital and have a procedure done on Friday. So Mrs. Marvel took her to the hospital. But I wasn't sick, so I'm okay, and I will be here on Wednesday. But let's look at our calendar and see what day it is today. Can you help me count? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Good job. And remember, all the teens start with what number? The number 1. So we're looking for a number that has a 1 and an 8. Good job. And we're going to put it right in here. Let's see what the name of our day is. Sunday, Monday. Good job. Today is the first day of our school week. And Mondays are the days that we do at home with our mommies and daddies. But today is Monday, January 18, 2021. And it's kind of a cold, snowy, little bit of a snowy day because it's still winter. Winter is the time when it's cold and snowy outside. So you have to dress warm if you go outside. Well, today I want you to get in your folder and you're going to find a letter that looks like this. Remember we said that we're learning about the big letters and the little letters? Well, this is one where the little letter, the lowercase letter, does not look like the big one, does it? Last week we learned about C. C looked the same, only one was big and one was little. Well, today we're going to learn about the letter, let's see if we can say them and find this one. A, B, C, D. The D, big letter, the capital letter, looks different than the little one. The little one is a circle with a stick. Around like a circle and up with a, down with a stick. Around and a stick, around and a stick. What pictures do you see? D says D. Can you make that sound with me? D, D, D. Let's look at the pictures. Little girls and boys, what does this look like? It's a doll. A doll. And that starts with the D sound. What is this? A dog. Dog. And do you know what this is? Good job. A duck. A doll, a dog, and a duck. And remember, D goes around, up, and down. Around, up, and down. Can you do that with your finger? Hold your finger up in the sky. First, we're going to trace around, up, and down. Around, up, and down. Now, can you make some little ones for me? And try to walk right on top of those dotted lines. After you're done making the letter D, I want you to color the doll, the dog, and the duck. After you're done with that, we're going to talk about a number. That was our letter. And look, someone told me that they thought that this number looked like the letter B. Guess what? It does. If you turn it upside down, it looks like a B. But we're going to hold it this way because Max, look up high and see the ball. Max can't reach it, he's too small. Watch out, Max, 'cause it might fall. It looks like the number 9. If you Look up in the tree. What kind of ball's up there? A football. Go round and down. So it's kind of like the D we made, only instead of making our stick go up, we're going to make our stick go down. Around and down, around and down. Let's see if we can count the little inchworms on the number 9. Can you help me count them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 little inchworms. And Max is looking at a football. Okay, I want you to listen, because you know what? Right now there's lots of football games playing. My husband's been watching football, and my grandson loves to watch football. I want you to trace around the number 9s. Then I want you to turn your paper over and see if you can draw 9 footballs. You might say, oh, I don't know how to draw a football. It's kind of like a long circle. Just make 2 points and around. Just do your best. It's okay. I just want you to try to make 9 footballs on the back of your paper, and you can count them to Mommy and Daddy. The other paper we have today, we learned about polar bears that like the cold. Polar bears that like the cold, like the cold, like the cold. Polar bears that like the cold, now we greet you. And we learned that penguins dressed in black and white, black and white, black and white. Penguins dressed in black and white. We're so glad to meet you. Well, today we're going to learn about another animal who likes the cold. And they live in the Arctic and Antarctica. Remember we said on the very, very top of the world and underneath the bottom where it's snowy and cold all the time? Seals, some of you may have gone to an aquarium or a zoo where you saw seals and they did some tricks for you. These seals are balancing things on their nose. Seals are in the cold because they have warm insulation around them. They have some fat on their bodies that helps keep them warm. They don't have feet and legs like the polar bear. They slide on their stomach. And instead of hands, they have flippers. The flippers help them swim fast because they spend a lot of their time in the water. They love to swim and they love to catch fish. That's their favorite snack and food. Well, we're going to look at these 4 seals. And they're balancing some shapes on their nose. Can you tell me what shape this is? It's a circle. Right now, I want you to look around your house, and I want you to go and show Mommy or a brother or a sister something that looks like a circle. Go right now and find a circle. Look anywhere around your house. Then when you come back, I want you, here's another shape. Does the circle have any points or sides? No, it doesn't. It just goes around and around and around, doesn't it? But let's look at this shape. Does this one have sides? Yes, it does. Does it have points? Yes, it does. Or corners. Let's count how many sides it has. 1, 2, 3. 3 points. 1, 2, 3. And that's called a triangle. We've talked about that before. Okay, go find a triangle. Look around your house and go find something that looks like a triangle and show it to Mommy or show it to a brother and sister. See if you can find a triangle at your house. And I have 2 more shapes I want you to look at and find. Who can tell me what this one is? Can you tell Mommy? A square. How many sides does a square have? Does it have 3 like a triangle? No. Let's see. Let's count. 1, 2, 3. There's 4. And it looks like a box, doesn't it? All four sides are just alike. How many corners does it have? 1, 2, 3, 4. Go find a square and show it to Mommy or a brother or a sister or whoever's there with you. And we have one more shape. This one sometimes is a little hard to remember, but it looks a little different, doesn't it? My shapes almost look like a face, don't they? This shape has 4 sides, but it's a little tricky. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. But does it look like the square? No, it doesn't. Can you tell me why it's different? These sides are all the same, aren't they? Like a box. But a rectangle has long sides and short sides. That one's kind of hard and tricky, but see if you can go find a rectangle at your house. Find something that looks like a rectangle that has 2 long sides and 2 short sides. When you're all done doing that, then I want you to get your seal paper. You're going to cut along the bottom here and cut out the shapes. Can you cut out the shapes? We don't have a circle on this one, do we? This one looks like a diamond. A diamond. So I want you to cut around the square, the rectangle, the triangle, and the diamond. And look at the shapes on your paper. See if you can match them, just like a puzzle, and glue them on top of the seal's nose. And then I want you to try to write your own name. Some of you are starting to do a really good job with that, and some of us are still practicing. But if you can, I want you to try and write your name on the top of your paper so Mrs. Marvel knows that it belongs to you. All right, boys and girls, I hope you have a really good day, and I will see you on Wednesday. Bye-bye.